Good morning. Today we will start to explain rates and unit rates, pages 238 and 239 in your textbook. Let's first start by explaining the meaning of the word rates. The word rates mean special kind of the ratio. And the ratio, we took it before. Do you remember what mean ratio? Yes, it means that we're comparing two numbers or two quantities. The rate is exactly the same, but it's a special kind of it. Why I call it a special kind? Because the rate is like a ratio with two different units. What does mean? It means if I have a ratio and I'm comparing in it two different units, on this case I will call it rate. Let's explain it more by the examples. For example, here I have $16 made in 3 hours. So I'm comparing 16 to 3. Why here I will call this ratio rate? Because if I see the units, I will see that they are different. Here dollars, I'm comparing it with hours. So once you have two different units, so your ratio can be named as rates. Let's see this one. $5 for 3 pounds. So 5 to 3. I'm comparing money to weight. So while you comparing two different units, so we will call it rate. Also this one is the same, 180 words typed in 3 minutes. So words compared to minutes. So two different units, so it's rate. The same in the fourth example, 240 miles driving in 4 hours. I'm comparing distance with time. So once you're comparing two different units, so your ratio can be named as rate. So we call the rate a special kind of the ratio. What does mean also? It means that all the rates are ratios, but not all the ratios are rates. It means if I have a ratio and the two units are the same, can I call it rate? No, we cannot. So we have just a special kind of the ratios, we can call it rate. What is this kind? If you have two different units. On this case, you will call it rate. So how can I tell if something is a rate or a ratio? Let's repeat it again. So you will watch the units. If they are the same, so it's ratio, just ratio. But if they are different, so it's a special kind of the ratio that we call it rate. Let's watch this. Here I'm comparing 10 to 1. Also I'm comparing 12 to 1, 3 to 1, 50 to 1. Watch the units please. Meters to second, dollars to hours, meals compared to days, number of games compared to year. Here, in each one of them, the units are different or the same? They are different. It means I can call it rate. Yes, I will call it rate. But did you notice with me here that always the second number here is 1 in my rate? What does mean? If you have the second number is 1 in your rate, so on this case I will call it unit rate. So what is the meaning of unit rate? The unit rate means I'm comparing two numbers. The second always will be 1. So compare number to 1. So 10 meters compared to 1 second. $12 compared to 1 hour. 3 meals to 1 day. 50 games to 1 year. So always if I'm comparing two quantities, two different units, and the second is 1, on this case I will call it unit rate. I will call it what? Unit rate. Let's see more examples on the unit rate. If I'm comparing the cost of this object per month, what mean per month? It means per 1 month. So this is a unit rate, and this is one way to write our unit rate. Here, number of points compared to 1 game. Per game means per 1 game. So it's a unit rate. The price of the banana compared per pound, means per 1 pound. So it's a unit rate. So remember that in the unit rate, always the second number or the second term, the denominator, always is 1. Let's see this one. If here I have a runner that travel a distance which is 16 miles in 2 hours. 16 miles to 2 hours. What we call this? We call it rate. Can I call it unit rate? No. Why no? Because here I have 16 to 2. 16 to 2, not to 1. It means just rate, not a unit rate. If I want to convert this one to a unit rate, what can I do? Quickly, when I tell you convert to a unit rate, directly in your mind, you know that your second number should be 1. So if she runs 16 miles in 2 hours, how many miles she will run in just 1 hour? This is the question to get my unit rate. Let's see. Here she ran from 1 to 16 miles. It means in the first hour she ran this part, on the second hour she ran the other part. So per 1 hour she ran how many miles? Yes, she ran 8 miles per hour. What means 8 miles per hour? It means 8 miles in 1 hour. Once you have the second number is 1, so I will call it unit rate. So also, how can I get it? If I have a rate and I wanted the unit rate of it. My rate is 16 to 2 and I wanted the unit rate. It means I want to know what to 1. Directly here I can use the cross multiplication. This number is missing and I want to get it, so I will multiply the two diagonal numbers. 1 to multiply 16 will give me 16, divide by the third divisible number, which is 2, so will give me 8, the missing one that I want to know it. So my unit rate is 8 to 1. Here it is, 8 to 1. I can write it by another way. We said that the ratio, we can write it by 3 ways. Also the rate exactly the same. The same 3 ways we can write our rate. So 16 to 2, how can I write it? 16 colon 2. This is my rate. I want to get the unit rate, mean I want to get how many? To 1. So in the unit rate, always you have the second number is 1. How can I get the first number here? 1 times 16 is 16, divided by 2 will give me 8. So the unit rate here is 8 to 1. So if you have a rate 16 to 2 and you want to get the unit rate, divide the numerator by the denominator. 16 divided by 2 is 8, and your denominator in the unit rate is always 1. Let's do more practice on it. In your book in page 238, we will start by question number 1. Write a rate to represent the situation, then find the unit rate. So I have to make the rate, then the unit rate. Question number 1. A store charges $30 for every 6 books. What is the rate here? Yes, the rate is 30 to 6. I can use anyway the colon, the word to, the fraction form, anyone to write. This is my rate. Now I wanted the unit rate. How can I get the unit rate? Directly. The second number is 1, without thinking. What about the first number? 1 times the 30 will give me 30. Then I will divide by the 6. 30 divided by 6 will give me 5. So it's 5 to 1. So how can I write it? It will be $5 per 1 book. It means per book. This is my unit rate. So my answer is the rate is 30 to 6 and the unit rate is $5 per book. Here it is, my answer. Let's see another one. For example, I will make number 5. Tino spends $12 for every 3 yards of fabric. First, I want to write the rate. The rate is ready in front of you, 12 to 3. What about the unit rate? It means what to 1. 1 multiply 12 is 12, divided by 3 will give me 4. For what? Yes, $4 every yard or per yard as you want. What mean per yard? It means per 1 yard. So here is my answer, 12 to 3. This is my rate. My unit rate is $4 per yard. This is my unit rate. And so on, by the same way you can answer. Let's see the next page, page 239. On this page, the question is different. First, we need to explain what the ratio means in the given context. Then we want to find the unit rate. What means explain what the ratio means in the given context? It means here you have a situation and you have to explain the meaning of it. Then you have to put the unit rate. Unit rate means second number is 1. Yes, once you see it, always the second number is 1. Question number 6. 6th grade math classes have a student to teacher ratio of 130 to 5. So your ratio is 130 to 5. How can I explain this? 130, what do I have? 130 students for each 5 teachers. So the explanation will be 130 students for each 5 teachers. This is the explanation. Then what is the unit rate? If I have 130 to 5, so the unit rate will be what to 1? It means 1 multiply 130, 30. Divide by 5 will give me 26. So it means that my unit rate is 26 students per teacher or for every teacher.